Today we're going to talk about that fun thing that you may or you may not have where you got a bunch of extra listings out there that are not selling. So what do? Well, the fact of it is there's only two reasons why real estate sells. One is price and the other is exposure. If you're doing a really good job of the exposure, which you should, you now know there's only one thing left to do, and that's the price. So we have to be able to explain that to our sellers and make sure they understand that you're doing the one very well, and the second thing they have control of. And so we have to decide that we're going to take to them a special way that Floyd's put together for us to get price reductions whenever we need one on a listing. Now, to caveat this, though, you have to realize that an overpriced listing is hurting us. It's not doing us any benefit. A long time on the market for us, unless that's natural in your market, is not good. So we want to make sure, number one, we don't have expired listings on our record, because a good realtor will use that against us. And number two, we want to make sure that we actually get these expired listings, or I should say price reductions, down to where they need to be so that they don't become expired listings. So how are we going to do that? Well, Floyd, of course, came up with a step-by-step process to come together to be able to help us to get price reductions every time. Now, the number one thing with this particular process we're going to go through, though, is you have to decide in your heart of hearts, when you go to present this to a customer, that you realize that an overpriced listing is hurting you, that expired listing is going to hurt you. You have to believe that in your heart, you have to believe that in your mind for it to work. So make sure that that's clear before you get ready to go and present this to a customer. So we're going to go through this process. It's a step-by-step process on how to actually get price reductions. First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about a communication or a group get-together you'll have at your office. What you're going to do is have a special meeting, whereas you have 6, 8, 10 people get together at your office, and everybody has the chance to bring one listing that they have to the meeting to talk about the right price that it should be at and the price that it should sell at. Now, this doesn't give you the right to be able to complain and whine as far as to why that price ended up on the listing in the first place, because that's not what the meeting's about. The meeting is about everybody finding out what everybody feels is the right price to list and sell that home at. Now, needless to say, our goal is to make sure that you have lots of years of experience in this room. Don't go together with 6 or 8 brand new real estate agents only been in the business a year, where collectively we have like 8 years of experience. We'd like to see you have 30 or 40 or 50 or 80 years of experience in this meeting if you can, just because it makes it more powerful when we demonstrate it to the customer. If you need more years of experience, invite your manager to sit in for a few minutes in the meeting, and then all of a sudden what will happen is you'll have way more years of experience in that meeting. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the meeting. We're going to go around. You're going to find out on your particular listing the list price and the suggested sale price from all these people. Now, the next step that you have to do is you have to call your customer. And you're going to do what we call impact communication. So if you normally have your meeting with your customers at their house, then call them into the office. If it's in the morning, take your meeting in the evening, opposite of whatever it normally is. Why? Because you know and I know in an impact communication meeting, the back of the hair stands up on your neck and you wonder, why are we doing this? This is different than normal. How come? What's up? And that's the idea, is to make everybody feel like, different meeting than normal. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to explain that you had this special meeting. The special meeting you had, of course, we were going to say to the customer, was that we had 35 years of experience come together in our special meeting, and lo and behold, your particular home came up in the discussion. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about your home, if we could please, as far as the price to which we as collectively in our office have come up with as a list price and a sale price on your home. Now, before you got there, you have done yourself a favor. You've presented 2 forms or created 2 forms. One is a price reduction form to the price that you have agreed to that you're going to take, because that was the collective agreement between everybody. And the second one is actually a listing cancellation form. Yes, you heard it, listing cancellation form. Because as I've said several times, this overpriced listing is going to expire and it's just going to cause you trouble. So it's better to get rid of it early than to hold on to it for a longer time and just let it cost you more money and more money. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go ahead and present the two forms. First form that you're going to present is you're going to present the price form first. So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, as you can see at the end of the day, we've went through collectively with over 35 years of real estate experience in our office. We went ahead and we've actually looked at your home, and this is the price that everybody agrees is the right price for your home. So we'll let you think about that for a second, and while you're doing that, I've also brought along with me a second form. The second form is the form that we call a listing cancellation form. We brought that along because I wanted you to feel comfortable and confident that if you can't see fit to actually go to the price that we know and we think is the right price to get your home sold, we're 100% comfortable to let you be released from this actual listing contract. Because one of the two needs to happen today. I'll leave it up to you. Now you get to decide. Are you going to go with the price reduction form, or are you going to go with the listing cancellation form? Now, at that point, you need to do one thing that's really important. You need to be quiet. The next person that speaks loses. That's the art of closing. So wait patiently to see what their reaction is. Now, if they reach for the listing cancellation form, you have to be willing and ready to let that go. Or if they reach for the price reduction form and they say to you, well, we're not going to do this price, but we'll do this price. You have to have already decided in your heart of hearts, what are you going to do to which way you're going to go, and are you going to stick to the number on the paper, or are you going to actually be willing to compromise one way or the other? Because if you don't have that figured up in advance, nothing's going to work, and this whole thing will fall down, and you'll look like a weak salesperson. We surely don't want that to happen. So that's it in a nutshell. That's how to get definitely price reductions at the price you're looking for when you're ready to do it. Thanks again.